YouTube. YouTube. Back in the day, I created a video on how to create thumbnails. Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. It was old and I don't like that style anymore. So now I have a new, revised, awesome way of doing thumbnails. Thumbnails on your YouTube videos get you views. So let me help you get some views. Let's go. So in starting out, I just want to show you kind of what I do sometimes with my old videos. I go in there and try to refresh some of the thumbnails because some of my old thumbnails are kind of horrible. This one I just redid earlier this week and redid the description, etc., and I got a lot more views. So I'm going to look for some, and actually I already see two. I can redo the Pinterest one. I can redo the Facebook business pages, and then also the YouTube tips. Actually, I'm going to do the YouTube quick tips. Even though it's cute, when you have to think about how it's going to look going down a stream, and this isn't as eye-catchy. I notice when it has my face, it's more people click on it. I think it's either because they already know me or they just see a person instead of just some text. Also, it's kind of hard to see this one, so and I don't have a lot of views on these older videos. So the goal is to get more views. So I am going to format it similar to these other ones where I have more views. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the YouTube viewer retention, and I'll probably call it something else. I'll also do the Facebook events. So let's go. So my favorite, absolute favorite app to use for YouTube thumbnails is PicMonkey because it is free. Although I do pay $4.99 a month. I pay $4.99 a month because there's some premium features. If you go to sociallynina.com/PicMonkey, you can come here too. Sign up. I believe it's 30 days free for the premium features, but they're well worth it. You get a lot of the extra things, and come on now, $4.99. Don't be cheap. So let's go. There's a couple things. You could edit existing. I do save some of my backgrounds for YouTube, like the colors, solid colors, pinks, blues, things like that, with the size, so I can just open it and edit it. But we're going to start from scratch this time. Touch up, you can touch up videos, touch up images, and I'm going to include a link to a video I did that actually shows you how to touch up like scars, add better eyebrows, all that kind of junk. You can design, which is the one that we're going to use today. Notice that they do have some dimensions, but I always use custom because then I can spell out exactly what size I need. And then collage. I used to do my thumbnails in collage, but you know, I've graduated and we're a big girl now. So I'm going to go to design and go to custom. The size I want is 1280 by 720. That is the best size, not only for YouTube videos, but I actually save them and use them as my WordPress thumbnails as well. So they match and they turn out pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on make it. Ooh, okay. Couple of things about PicMonkey. It does not save to the app. So if you're used to using Canva, Canva automatically saves. It saves in the background. You could come back. So there are some tips and tricks that I use, and I save at different points so I can kind of redo it. But for now, I just want to let you know that this will not be saving. So be careful. When you click on save, it actually is going to save to your desktop. Okay. I'm going to cancel this. Let me go through a couple of things. Open, that's basically going to take you to open previous images, kind of like when we started in the beginning. So we're not going to do that. Save, I just showed you that. Share, you could share on any of the social media sites or even email. So I love that. This is the undo and redo. You're going to love this. This is kind of what you can hold down to see. So if you make a change and you want to kind of see if it looks better now or if it looked better before you made the change. This one actually combines the layers. So if you know anything about layers, like maybe putting text and actually I'll do it now. I'm just going to show you a couple of things. So if I just put two images, a lot of times it's hard to know which one you're clicking on, especially when you have text and a couple of different images. So what this does is when I go like that, I can no longer move it. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll get the background together and I'll get it super duper like just clean everything I need before I start adding other things, and I'll do the layers and layer it down, combine all images, and then I'll save it just in case I make a mistake. Okay, but again, I can undo it. What I suggest too is going to your settings over here. Now your settings allow you to do different sizes. So for those of you who like things super duper crisp, you can actually choose King Kong. I leave it there as default just so I can get the best quality possible. But depending on how much space you have and all that other nice stuff that you want to worry about, you can go down to bubbles and you can go to Jack, right? These aren't as nice of a quality, but just notice as you click on each one, it does tell you what it's good for. So good for print quality up to this size. King Kong, it's like for Humongatron size, right? So in other words, if you're going to print it, I just leave it there. I do check this box because they will let me know if I need to do anything else. When you save, before we start, when you save, you'll also have the option to make the quality one of these. I don't know why they come up with these silly names, but you'll notice that there's just different quality size, and they give you little hints. Again, I always choose the largest one, which is Sean, but it tells you the size. What comes in handy here is if you have certain websites where you only they tell you, you know, it's your file's too large, you can choose one of the smaller file sizes, right? Another thing about this is I usually save it in PNG. PNG file actually allows you to save with transparent background. So if you're making your own logo and other things like that, you can use that. Okay, let's get into the actual tutorial. I'm not going to go through all of these, just the ones that I need today. But what I usually do is there's a couple ways of doing this. I can actually set the background if I'd like. So the first one, the basic edits. If I go to canvas color, if you know your logo colors or your, I'm sorry, your branding colors, you can just put them in there, right? You can just type in, this isn't my color, but you can just kind of type it in. If you don't know your colors, I'm going to show you how you can figure out what your colors are for your brands, because it is very important that you stay with your branding colors, okay? Don't go outside of them. You could go outside of them every once in a while, but be consistent on YouTube. So overlays, I'll tell you what these are in a little bit. They're basically just shapes and things like that, but I'm going to actually click on your own, and it's going to pull up a folder. Okay, I just navigated to a picture I have. This has all my, not all, but most of my brand colors on it. So I'm going to show you just real quick how you can get your branding colors. So I'm just going to do a couple hearts over here. Okay, notice there's color 1 and color 2. Now, anytime I'm going to click off, anytime I click on an object, it will give me whatever's available for that object. So I'm going to click on this object, and I'm going to click color 1, which is the inside. So I can take this and click on the pink. Oh, color 1's the outside. So, and then I know that's the pink color, right? And so I can just take that, and I can do color 2. And I'm choosing this color picker. I'm going to pick that. Okay, so for me, what I would normally do is go through each of the colors, and then I would get a text box. So on your left-hand side, I would write out the, and it doesn't matter which font you use for this one. I'm going to do Arial. I'm going to add text. Okay. What I would normally do is get each of the colors and then write the numbers here and then just save this. I know that's the color because when you click on it, and actually this is a little bit off for the colors. That's what color it's supposed to be. It should show you. So usually when you do your color pickers, it will pick the color for you, and then you just take that number and you could save it, and I would just type it on here and then save it, and then you have all of your brand colors. But the whole point of this is if you don't know your brand colors, you just click on it, and it's pretty close. As you can see, it wasn't exact, but I can click on the colors. I know my colors, so I could tell you that this is a little bit wrong, but it's at least close enough where they look the same. So you can do that with each of them. I would probably want, I'm going to click on the heart there, and I'll click on the blue color. So I'm going to do color picker and blue. So basically, click on the object, choose the color picker, and then choose the color, right? Then you have all your colors. I'm going to go ahead and click on the original image and delete it. So at least you know what your colors are. I'm going to delete these for now. Okay, so I did add the background color of the pink one to figure out how to do that. Basically, I went back to our basic edits. I went to canvas color, and I just put in the number here, F21BFF, and that's the wrong one, F21BFF. There we go. So I'm going to apply, and then that's the pink color that I have there. Okay, so the next part is adding a photo of myself. I use a pink background for my images. I would say if you don't have good photos of yourself, you can do this with your iPhone. You could do this with a webcam. I use now I use my Sony A6100 for this, and I'll leave the link in the bottom to what the camera is. But I basically just took a bunch of pictures, very expressive, and I take the background out. So you can find a white wall, a pink wall, anything that's solid. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to erase that background. Okay, let me go to this. So this is overlays. Overlays, you can actually use different shapes. And we'll go over how to use these, but you can actually use different shapes in here to kind of add to your image. But for me, you could use your own. This is how I actually upload pictures. So I'm going to click on your own, and you can actually upload them from Facebook, OneDrive, etc., etc. Okay, so let me show you how easy this is. If you look, I just put my camera on a stand. I took a bunch of pictures of myself. And there's like tons more in this folder, but I just want to show you how easy it is. So this is my wall, and there's stuff behind it. It doesn't matter, you just, because you're going to take all of this out. So I'm going to use this, okay, and I'm going to position it. So part of the stuff, like I really kind of resize it to until all this stuff is gone, but for the most part I'm just going to do it this way. And notice if you have 4 arrows, it means you're moving it. To resize it, I have 2 arrows, so that just means I'm dragging it. So, and that's with most apps for design. So I'm going to do this. You can flip it. So if you want to put it on the other side, you usually should have your eyes pointed towards the text. So keep that in mind. I don't do enough on this side, so I'm going to do that. I do want to stretch it out a little bit more. So this is a high quality, I don't know if I like my hand like that. It is a high quality camera, so it's going to be a little bit different if you've taken it, if you took this on an iPhone, it's not always, you know, something that would work. Okay, so I have the opportunity here. It's pink here. I could leave this pink. It's a little ombre pink, or I could erase it and let some of my other, the background show. I think for me, I would leave it, but I'm going to show you how I would erase it. So anytime there's an overlay, remember these are the overlays here, you can use the eraser here. And before I do that, I want to show you, I can actually do different modes. Some of these modes are pretty cool because, not that one. You can do it in such a way where you don't really have to delete the background or anything like that, but none of these kind of work. You can fade it a little bit. The background shows a little bit more. Different things that you can do. You could change the color. Kind of weird. I'm going to undo it just to make sure I didn't mess up anything. Okay, and then again, you could flip it this way, that way. So I'm going to go to the eraser. Now I want to show you the difference. So if I do eraser size as 1, of course that's the size. That's like self-explanatory. I'm going to go up to the top to 100, and then I'm going to do the eraser hardness at 100. So if I delete like that, see there's no edges. It's like a perfect circle. So let's undo. Now, if I want it to be kind of fuzzy and unknown, not unknown, fuzzy and not so solid, I use this one. So see how it just kind of airbrushes it? So I can go around, and I do it with the big one because, you know, you have more of kind of like the fuzz. If you use Snapchat, this is like the end of like the pixelated stuff. The pixelated little images. Okay, so then I have my brand colors, and see I kind of, so you could kind of mess up. Don't worry about messing up, because then the next eraser you can then go back. I'm going to do the size a little bit smaller, and then you can erase what you're already erased. So you can do that. So I can go back and forth, maybe go bigger, make sure I get all the color there, you know. And your brush says a lot. I mean, well, it does a lot. The size does a lot for exactly how it shows up. So anyways, you can go back and forth this way, make sure things are showing, all that kind of stuff. Okay. And just take your time. Oh, one of the things in your right-hand corner, you can zoom in. Okay, so but when I zoom in, you want to use this little box to get closer. So if you want to be a little bit more precise, you could do this. Okay, I'm not going to do all that mess because I like the pink that it has. I love the pink in the background. So I'm actually going to take this eraser, go all the way up. So I'm going to undo everything. You could undo. You can go back and back and back. But for me, I'm just going to boop. Really, really easy. And just erase all the stuff that I erased. Unerase the stuff that I erased. Okay. So I did show you that there are some different modes here. So if you do want to make it look a little different, you can do that. But for the most part, I'm just going to leave it as is. It's perfect for me. And now notice when I try to do stuff, it kind of moves. So once you get it perfect, what I would do is click on the combine all elements. Again, it combines it now that I'm clicking. You can't see it. Everything's perfect. Okay, cool. All right, so the next thing you want to do is add your text. Now, let me look at the video that we're doing first. So the video I'm going to do is going to be the Facebook events. Now, one thing I see is that people put the whole freaking title on their thumbnail. When you're scrolling down on your phone, no one can see that, people. So let's not put the whole world on the thumbnail. You just want enough for people to see as they're scrolling down. So for this one, now I think I even put too much here. So I'm just going to put Facebook event or create Facebook event. We'll see how it kind of works out, but that's the one that we're going to do now. So let's hop back over. So I'm going to show you the text here. And so the text right here, it has tons of things for PicMonkey. They do show you that the Royale, that's the $4.99 per month. Royale has the little crowns, but this is the thing. And I used to love this when I first started, by the way, these two. I just go to dafont.com and I download my own fonts. Most of these fonts you can find there or other places. If you don't know how to do that, I will include a link in your top right-hand corner and in the description box on how to get your own fonts. But for now, let's go ahead and add our fonts. So once you download your fonts, you have yours right here. And I'm sorry about the pop-up. That's my backup system. So if you go to yours, you'll see that that you can download your own fonts and everything that you've downloaded to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one and click on add text. This is my actual font for my brand. So I'm going to type in Facebook. And I'll create a different one for events. I'm just going to show you guys really quick what I do to make sure everything is straight. If I want to, I can pull this over here. Go all the way to Facebook. And I'll try to do a second one. Now, these are not my brands. These are client brands. So let me find mine. This is one of mine. I don't know if it's going to match. I'm going to do add text. I'm going to do events. Oh. And again, I want to make sure it is centered. So I'm going to go all the way to the edge, pull it to where I think this one is. You can kind of see. And do center. Make it bigger. Okay. And you could type in if it's not big enough. And I don't think that's big enough. So I'm going to do 250 here. And a couple of things that you can do. I love that now as a Royale, you can do drop shadow. If you are not a Royale customer, what you can do is right click and duplicate it. And what I would do is I would make this white first. I'm just going to choose white. And then I would duplicate it. And it looks like there's already an effect on there. And then I'd make this black. And then you can kind of move, you know, level 1 over level 2. So you can kind of make that into a shadow or whatever you want. But for this, I'm just going to use a drop shadow, make the distance just a little bit more so it stands out. You can do other colors too, so I don't like that. No, maybe I do. I'm going to put in my brand color to see if I like it more. Maybe I don't like the distance. So that's what I'll do. And then I'll make this bigger. I think this needs to be like 300. Because remember, people see these on their phones. And then, and actually, you know what I'll do? Is I will do this. Let's put this on there. And we are going to make this. I'm going to do this. Turn this back to black. We'll make this. With the drop shadow. Okay, and then you could do all kinds of other stuff, just FYI. There's knockout. Okay, so you can do the angle, all that kind of stuff, right? And I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so I'm going to do Facebook. I'm actually going to add an image, so I'm going to go to my overlays and go to an image that I already had. I got this image from Picabay. I will leave the link below. It is free stock images, so make sure you're not just pulling everything off of Google. So I'll do this. There we go. And then we'll do Facebook. We'll make this. Okay, and somewhere there you do want to put your logo. I'll put it at the bottom. Same process. Okay, so I don't know if that I'm in love with this, but it will do. I might turn off the effects, or that one actually looks a little bit better. But you see the gist of it. I have my logo here that I added as an overlay. I have an image. If someone scrolls by this, you know exactly what it is. It's a huge picture in front of them. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Remember, you want to call it, you want to choose the Sean one. I'm going to go ahead and name this How to Create Facebook Events on Your Business Fan Page. Because this is all SEO, I don't know what counts and what doesn't. So I just make sure that just like on your WordPress that I name it appropriately. So I'm back on YouTube. I'm just going to click on the picture. Pause it so it doesn't play. Now I am going to go through and update my tags and descriptions and all that kind of stuff. But for now, I'm just going to go to Info and Settings. You only see this when you are a creator of a video, of course. And on your right hand side where you have all of your thumbnails, I'm just going to do Change Image. I double clicked on the image. I'm going to click on save. Sometimes this takes a while or doesn't work, so you may have to come back in to make sure it looks good. But for the most part, if you go back to your list, so in your top hand corner, I'm just going to go to my channel. And so it hasn't refreshed yet, but you should see it refresh hopefully fairly quickly. There it goes. So I think that's much more appealing than the one that I had before. And we'll see how it does. It's at 1500, 1550. So we'll see if it actually increases after I make some other changes. Thank you for watching the video. Go ahead and click here to subscribe. And after you do that, go ahead and click here to watch more videos. Me and Princess are going to go learn more Snapchat. Come on, let's go snap.